Hey Gator fans, welcome back to a peek inside Gator football. I'm Allie Peek, and today we're diving into a tough story developing out of Gainesville. More injury setbacks for the Gators, including redshirt sophomore running back Trayon Webb and also freshman wide receiver Dallas Wilson. So a lot of the offseason chatter has centered around DJ Lagway's health, but now it's around now it's the running back room feeling the sting of the injury bug. And it comes at a tough time for a player who's been fighting hard to carve out his role in a really deep and talented backfield. So let's start with what we know. Trayon Webb recently underwent surgery on his right hamstring after suffering a muscle rupture. This is a setback from an earlier offseason injury. It's expected to keep him out at least a month, with hopes that he'll be back in time for the start of conference play. This wasn't just a precautionary cleanup. This was a more serious repair, a physical hurdle that comes at a really unfortunate moment in Webb's career. And sadly, this isn't new territory for him. Last season, Webb was positioned to back up Montrell Johnson after Trevor Etienne hit the portal. But then came a season-ending fractured tibia against Mississippi State. That injury limited him to just 4 games, 21 carries, and 93 yards and a touchdown, which was enough to preserve a red shirt, but it was definitely not the breakout season he was hoping for. Coming into this fall, it looked like Webb was in a position to compete for the RB3 spot, with a chance to see meaningful touches because Billy Napier loves to rotate backs. At full strength, Webb was expected to play a complementary role behind sophomore standout Jaden Baugh and veteran Jacoby Jackson. But even before this latest injury, Webb was limited in the spring and started training camp in a non-contact jersey. This hamstring injury only widens the gap between him and the top two on the depth chart, and it opens the door even more for younger backs looking to rise. So what does the running back room look like right now without Trayon Webb? Well, let's break it down. Running back one is for sure going to be Jaden Baugh. He's coming off a freshman All-SEC campaign with 673 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns. He is the clear-cut featured back. But RB2 is Jacoby Jackson. He's a redshirt senior. He's reliable, consistent, and another 7 touchdown season for him last year. He knows the system. He gives the staff confidence. He is going to see a lot of carries. So the big question now is who takes over for RB3? That third spot matters a lot. Florida leans heavily on its run game, and injuries happen, especially in the SEC. Napier himself has said that they have never had a year where at least one of their top backs didn't miss time. So that third guy, he better be ready to go. The current frontrunner is redshirt freshman Katie Daniels. He saw limited action last season, but looked sharp with 77 yards and a touchdown on just 11 carries. Coach has been raving about his improvement from his vision to his footwork to his understanding of protections. That mental jump is really just as important as the physical one in this offense. Then there's Duke Clark. He's a true freshman and an early enrollee who's been making a strong impression early in camp. He's battling Daniels head to head, and if he keeps flashing, it could become a toss-up. Now for Webb, this is another unfortunate roadblock in a career that has had a tough start. He's a guy who's done everything right, waited patiently, worked hard, flashed when given opportunities, but it just hasn't lined up for him yet due to injuries. In 2023, he had over 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. In 2024, he started really strong before that leg injury. And now, just when 2025 looks like it could be the year he finally emerged as a consistent contributor, another setback. But that doesn't mean his season is over. If the recovery timeline holds, he could return just as SEC play begins, when the grind of the schedule really starts to test depth. If one of the top backs goes down, which history tells us is likely, Webb could find himself right back in the mix. But the competition will be fierce, and reps will be limited until he proves he's back to full speed. So what does it mean for Florida overall? Truthfully, the Gators are still in a strong position at the top of the running back room. Jaden Baugh and Jacoby Jackson are more than capable of carrying the load early in the season. But the concern is depth, and that's why the battle for RB3 just became one of the most important storylines of training camp. Someone has to step up, whether it's Daniels, Clark, Lewis, and they've got to earn trust early. because when the hits start piling up in October and November, there is absolutely no time to develop. You need guys who can step in and execute immediately. If Florida finds that third back, they're going to be fine. If not, and injuries linger, things could get complicated. And just when you thought the injury bug wouldn't bite again, true freshman wide receiver Dallas Wilson suffered a lower leg injury in practice today. He's already in a hard cast. Now, thankfully, early reports say he's only expected to miss a couple of weeks and should be back in time for the season opener against LIU. But still, this one stings. Wilson has been one of the most exciting freshmen on the entire roster. He's a five-star guy from Tampa who went off in the spring game with 195 yards on 10 catches. At 6'3" and 210 pounds, he brings a vertical threat to Florida's offense that's really been missing. And he's the kind of game breaker that can stretch the field and flip a game with one play. Losing him, even for just a couple of weeks, slows down the chemistry development between receivers and quarterbacks, especially when your starting quarterback is a true sophomore like Lagway, who also missed early reps with his own injury. So what do you think? Can Webb bounce back and still contribute this season? Is the Dallas Wilson injury as mild as we're hoping we think it is? Who do you think wins that running back 3 job? Let me know in the comments. And guys, I am so close to 15,000 subscribers, and I want to get there before the season starts. If you're watching this video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It's going to take you 2 seconds. It's free, and I would appreciate the support. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Gators.